Okay, so hi everybody, and welcome to 5 Steps to Brilliant Business Blogging. I'm going to take you through the essential steps that let you create a blog for your business that brings you more sales but doesn't take over your life. I'm Alison Wren from Paprika Marketing. Now, for those that don't know me, just to let you know a little bit more about me, for 7 years I ran an e-commerce business called The Wedding Crafter, setting it up from scratch before selling it 2 years ago. Sorry, just slight interruption there. So I sold my e-commerce business a couple of years ago, but during the time I was running it, I did a lot of what we called content marketing, articles, news, giveaways, and so on, which helped bring us a lot more business. And now I help other businesses with their own content marketing. Before I kick off the presentation, just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. So for this webinar, I'm trialing a new webinar application. It's called Webinars on Air, and it's not just new to me, but it's pretty new altogether. So please bear with me if things don't go 100% smoothly, because I'm still getting used to it. I've done some practice, but it's not the same as doing the real thing. If you look down the left-hand side of the screen, there should be an option to raise your hand if you've got a problem. I've got a handy assistant who's going to look after that if you do have any problems. So do just raise your hands if the sound is giving you problems or you're getting echo and so on. So if you do that now, and we'll try and sort anything issues out. There is an option to ask questions. So what I'm going to do is run through a presentation, and at the end of that presentation, that's when I'll answer any questions that you want to raise. But do feel free to type those questions in as we go along and as you think of them. I've also got some useful tools for you and a special offer. So do stay on till the end in order to get those. So if we are all ready, 5 steps to brilliant business blogging. And the first step is to define your purpose. And basically, it's really important to know why you are blogging. Unless you're really clear about what you're trying to achieve and what your goals are, it's going to be very difficult to make decisions about what sort of content you're going to write about and how to structure and manage your blog. Before we go on to sort of different ways you can do this, I'd like to explain a little bit more about how blogs can bring you more business. Now, obviously, the main purpose of blogging for small business is to bring you more sales. How can a blog do that? Well, one thing a blog can do is to bring more visitors to your website. And it can do that both through helping your search engine optimization or SEO, and also through social media. So it almost becomes the core of your online marketing. For the SEO point of view, having a blog, firstly, it lets you target more keywords, or to be honest, more key phrases, those 3, 4, 5 word phrases that actually form the bulk of searches that are performed through Google. Now, each of those phrases may only bring a small volume of searches, but they're going to be highly relevant and targeted searches, and you've got a better chance of ranking at nearer the top of Google than for some of the more generic and very popular keywords. So that's one way you can get more visibility. And also, having a blog can boost your search rankings overall for your website. And that's partly because with a blog, you're updating your website on a regular basis, you're getting fresh content, and Google likes websites that are up to date and change on a regular basis. And the other way you can improve your search rankings is by getting more people to link to your articles and also to share them through their social media, so like on Facebook, +1 on Google, and so on. And all those things will help get your search engine rankings up. Of course, if you want people to link to you and share you on social media, it's got to be good stuff. The other way that a blog can help you get more business is through increased conversions. So using your blog to help convert casual browser into an interested prospect and someone who then becomes a client. And you can do that through showcasing your skills, showing people how to make better use of your products. We did this a lot with Wedding Crafter, where we showed people how to use our products, which gave them the confidence to buy them. And also by engaging with your website visitors, people get a chance to get to know you, which is really important with a small business, and to really get to know the people behind the business and make them feel that they're people you want to do business with. So, having determined what you're sort of looking for with your blog, there's actually different ways that you can achieve this, and I like to define three sort of quite different blogging styles. The first one I call strictly business. Now, you'd usually use this when SEO is your main purpose. When you're doing this style of blog, you're really going to pay attention to your keywords and be producing information, articles, and so on that people will want to link to and to share, because that's what you're trying to achieve. The thing to watch out with this style is to not make it a sales brochure. I see so many sort of business blogs which are just, here's our new product, buy my product, have you seen our new product? It's not, a blog isn't for that. It's got to be more sort of engaging and interesting. Style number two, it's what I call a showcase blog. And this is the style of blog that I use on the Paprika Marketing blog. And that's all about highlighting professional skills. If you're in a service business, it can be more sort of product focus if you're selling actual physical products. It's all about building trust, and you're going to use a lot of case studies, tutorials, top tips type articles. Thing to watch out for with this style of blog is it can get a bit repetitive, so you do need to mix up your content. And then style number three is what I call the diary style, and this is where blogging originated, really, with people just putting down their thoughts, diary of their lives and their business and so on. And this is still a very effective way of blogging for business, because you're engaging with clients and prospects. You're giving them behind the scenes insights. You're putting your personality into it. But what you do need to be aware of is just waffling on about your kids, your dog, your business woes, and so on, because that's just going to turn people off. They want those insights, and they want to hear your business story. So, having defined your purpose, the next thing you need to do is decide where your blog is going to live, and that involves choosing a platform for your blog. And the first question most people ask is, do you put your blog in with your website so that it's something like www.mywebsite.co.uk/blog, or do you have it hosted separately? For me, the answer is, if you possibly can, integrate it into your website, because if you want the SEO benefits, then it really needs to be part of your website. Now, I tend to recommend WordPress for blogging. It's pretty straightforward to integrate into your website, and in fact, a lot of websites these days are actually developed in WordPress, so you may well already have that available. But the other thing is that WordPress has so many great plugins and extra functionality that will let you do just about anything you really want to do with your blog. And in particular, it's very strong with search engine optimization plugins, with social sharing, and so on. You can do some really fantastic things with it. So choice number one, WordPress. But there are a few alternatives, and if for any reason you can't have your blog as part of your main website, then look at something like Blogger or Tumblr, which are sort of blogging platforms which are hosted for you. You sort of sign up and you can be blogging within about 5-10 minutes. I do have a report which goes into a lot more detail on how to choose a platform for your blog. So, and I'll be sending you the link to download that after the webinar. Okay, once you've chosen your platform, step number 3 is to decide how often are you going to update your blog. And this is the question I get asked probably the most often, is how often. I tend to say it's more important to blog regularly than frequently. And you've got to choose a frequency that's realistic for you. What I'm talking about here is blogging for small businesses. So businesses that don't have a 10-person marketing department to write it for them, and also businesses where the blog is just a part of their marketing, it's not their business. So monthly is really the minimum. Any less than that and it's not really a blog. Weekly is great if you can do it. Something in between, like fortnightly, is perfectly acceptable. But what you do need to do is manage your time and not let it either take over your life or keep dropping off your to-do list. Because we've probably all sat there at some time in front of a blank screen and thought, I really should update my blog and I don't know what to write about. So it's to blog effectively for business, it's all about planning ahead, creating a content plan, scheduling your posts. What I like to do is to set aside a block of time, couple of hours once a fortnight, to write my blog articles, and I'll maybe have like 3 articles on the go at a time. One that I'm just sort of jotting ideas down for, one that needs sort of finishing off, and one that's ready to go. And nearly all the blogging software will have a scheduling option in it, so you can finish it on a particular day, schedule it to go out at your regular blogging time. Obviously, you don't need military precision for this, but it's good discipline in order to have a specific time when you publish your blog. I try to publish mine Wednesday lunchtimes, and that gives me a goal to aim for. But I tend not to write them on Wednesday morning. Okay, let's move on to step number 4. What are you going to write about? When you're deciding what to write about, key thing is to remember your purpose, but also your audience. What is going to interest them? As I said, it's not a sales brochure, so it's not what do I want to write about, it's what are my audience going to want to find out about, what's going to interest them, and so on. It's a good idea to mix up your media, so not just write long wordy posts all the time. Put some images in there, the occasional video, or if you really like video, do more video, but put some text in as well. It's not a good idea to have all of one sort of medium or another. I do sometimes see a lot of photography blogs which are just all pictures and no text. And you want to tell a story with your blog posts, so it's good to have a mix. Let's go on to some article ideas. So what I've done is I've taken the 3 different blogging styles and made some suggestions of the sort of blog posts that you can write about. So with a business style blog, things around your product, your service, looking through your customer service questions and those that get asked frequently is often a good source of blogging sort of material, and you can go into a bit more detail in a blog article than you would maybe in the FAQ section of your website, but you can link from the FAQ section into your blog and give a bit more detailed explanation for those that want it. You can predict trends, you can really make a buzz about a new product launch, and so on. For your showcase type style blog, you're going to do more sort of top tips, how to, and perhaps be a little more personal about the business and the skills that you bring to it. Case studies are really great with this, and also giving your opinion on what's happening in your industry. And then if you're writing a diary style blog, it can be about whatever's happening in your business. You may be doing an exhibition, getting ready for Christmas, staff member profiles are often a really good idea. Just do a little video behind the scenes. And also with this style of blog, you can be a bit more sort of opinionated and show a bit more personality, comment on a hot news story. It doesn't necessarily have to be directly related to your business. Just share your sort of thoughts and outlook, and that really sort of engages with the people that will want to do business with you. And finally, moving on to step 5, promotion. There's no point writing all these fantastic blog articles if nobody's going to read them. So you really need to use your social media to get your blog out there, get people reading it, and the more people read it and share it, the more people will read it, and so on, so forth. One of the great things about blogs is that you can get comments and feedback. Most blogging software will let people add comments, and it's a really good idea if you can get conversations going on your blog. Not only is it more content for you, but if people are engaging, they're more likely to come back again and again. So if somebody does comment on your blog, do always reply to it and get the conversation going. And that will encourage more people to comment. And the other thing that blogging articles are great for is with your email marketing. It gives you something to say, so you don't need to sort of create a newsletter as such. You can just add bits from your current blog articles, so maybe like a teaser paragraph, and that way, because you're emailing people, they're seeing your blog articles, they're going to your blog, you're getting more readership, you're getting more social shares, you're going up in the search rankings, and hopefully you're getting loads more sales. So to recap our 5 steps, first one is define your purpose, then choose the right platform, make sure you update on a regular basis, write fantastic, interesting content, and promote it continuously. So, if I go back to the webcam. Okay, has anybody got any questions on that? You can just type, if you go to the question mark in the little bar on the right hand side, you should be able to type in some questions. Right, I've got a question here from Simon, who says, how can you be topical and up to date while still planning your content? And that's particularly relevant if you're doing the diary style blog, because yes, you do want to be topical. So I recommend diary style blogs for people who are really comfortable with writing and find it easy. For a lot of us, it's not always that easy. But if you're that sort of person who can write, sit down, think of things to write about and really just go for it, that's great, and you can write about topical news stories, what's been happening in your business this week, and so on. I would still recommend, if you're writing this style of blog, that you have a couple of articles as sort of backup for when you're very busy, or if there's just nothing much happening and you don't have time. So if you've got those spare articles there, you can pull them out the bag, as it were, and publish those. Okay, as I mentioned, I do have a couple of useful tools for you. The first is a report which takes you through all the different options with blogging software and where to put your blog. And the second is a content plan which you can use to manage your blogging activity. And these will be available to download in the email I'm going to send you at the end of the webinar. Okay. Someone's asking, is it fairly easy to add a WordPress blog account to an existing website? And the blog suggests we should blog from our website, but mine doesn't have the function for people to comment and respond on it. Okay. Mostly, these WordPress can usually be installed into a subdirectory on your web hosting. So it then you put it into a blog, a folder called blog, or a subdirectory called blog, install it in there, and then it should be available from www.mywebsite.co.uk/blog. And you can usually do this through the control panel in your hosting account. It's not that technically difficult, but if you're not comfortable with managing websites, then it's probably a good idea to get your web developer to do it. Where you might have problems with it is if your website is on something like a hosted e-commerce platform like Magento or Volusion, some of those sort of platforms where you might struggle with that. But if you've got a basic HTML website on a standard hosting package, it should be pretty easy to do that. Okay. Well, if there's no more questions, I hope that's given you some really great pointers for your blog. However, if you think you need more help in getting your blog in order, I do offer a one-to-one training program. It's called Blog Bootcamp, and that gives you individually tailored advice on getting your blog set up, your content, optimizing for SEO, using the techniques like tags and categories, and all those sort of, maybe to ask all those questions that you're maybe going to think of after the webinar this evening. Normal price is £115, but I'm offering it to you for just £95 plus VAT. And you can find out more details about Blog Bootcamp at the end of this webinar. This offer will expire at 5 PM tomorrow. So to take advantage, you need to email me. That's alison@paprikamarketing.co.uk before 5 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to be around on Twitter for the next hour or so feel free to tweet me any other questions you may think of. My Twitter handle is paprikamarketing, or you can find it on the web page that I'm going to point you to in just a moment. There should be a recording of this webinar available probably tomorrow morning, after I edit out the bit where it all went horribly wrong. So if there's any part you want to revisit, you'll be able to do that, and I'll email you the link as soon as that's ready for you. So it just remains for me to say thank you everybody for joining me. It's been a great pleasure. Hope you found that really useful, and I'd be very grateful if you could let me have any feedback and any suggestions maybe for the next webinar. So thank you all and have a lovely evening.